Would you like to look approachable while maintaining your intellectual vibe? Those of us who are the intellectual types, which this would be your INTJ, ENTJ, INTP, and ENTJ. So if you are not aware of MBTI, I suggest that you check it out for a little bit. But for those of you who are more of a thinking type, you tend to be quite analytical. You focus on what is logical, you rationalize, you justify, you think about the pros and cons, the cause and effect. Because this is your preference, you tend to appear a little bit not so approachable, less warmth, a lot more competence on the charisma scale, as Vanessa Van Edwards like to call it. In the science of people, I think having charisma is something that a lot of us strive for, because charisma helps us to influence, and some of us, perhaps we want a certain kind of influential level, but a lot of us, even though you are not the kind of person that wants to stand out, having a kind of influence, being able to persuade people is definitely a valuable skill to have. If you are someone that has this resting bitch face, it's having that kind of expression that causes people to always be intimidated by you, to not open up to you, and therefore, how can the more thinking or intellectual types appear more sociable in this instance? Through fashion. So there are going to be a few parts to this video. Today I'm going to be focused on talking about color psychology. As we all know, color can shape our emotions. It's something that has been studied for the longest time. I will not go deep dive into the details. What's most important for you to know is that the most practical thing that you can do is to evaluate. If you know that you already appear more unapproachable, people think that you're more cold, perhaps a little bit more hard to get to know. And sometimes when you're in the sales industry, it makes it very hard for you. And especially when you attend events, if you're in PR or marketing or certain kind of job that requires you to socialize, it makes it very difficult for you in certain situations, especially when you're wearing the wrong colors. Therefore, I want you to think about what are the dominant colors that is currently in your wardrobe, right? Okay, so this is the color wheel. There is warm colors and cool colors. In general, for people who already appear more competent, intellectual, analytical, thinking type, you might want to steer away from cool colors. And especially for those of you who are very into your neutral colors, which I am very into, you have to be careful on what kind of neutral colors that you go for. Let's take myself as an example. If you watch my video long enough, you would know that I'm always wearing black. Is my preferred choice. It is a color that I bathe myself in. It's very beneficial for those people who want to appear competent, dominating, assertive. And today, I'm actually wearing a neutral color that it's not according to my ego self. It is not something that I prefer or love, but I know that this is something that is beneficial for me. It's what I need. And so, beige is a color that I often go for when I know that I'm meeting someone that probably don't really know me in person. They haven't got to know me, and I don't want them to instantly be intimidated by my usual self, which is wearing black. Sometimes when you wear black, it's not just mysterious, where people don't really know what you're hiding. Therefore, it can appear a little bit, people would become more guarded when they're around you, because black, not only that it looks powerful, it already looks mysterious in that sense, because people like to be certain about things. And so when black does that, and furthermore, what the media, history, things that have conditioned our mind, whenever we see the color black, we think about someone that is very edgy, rebellious, femme fatale, someone that's very dangerous. Very dark colors will not be suitable for the intellectual types if your image goal is to appear more approachable. So in my instance here, this beige takes away this intense, or even like my makeup Sometimes I like to wear like really red lipstick and the way I have my lashes and my wing eyeliner. Sometimes that whole combination with black or even dark grey or navy, it makes it really intense. And therefore, I even have clients saying that, wow, your look is so severe. So it's a very rigid look, which it can be beneficial in certain situations, but you have to be very careful when you are doing this kind of looks, because this is you feeding your ego. I'm speaking directly to the intellectual type. So for those of you who are ENTJ, ENTP, INTP and INTJ. So when it comes to neutral colors, go for colors that are a little bit more light with white base. Even when you go for grey, which is known as an emotionless color, it's a corporate's favorite color. Try to go for lighter grey. There is a warmer kind of grey with a yellow undertone, rather than going for that cool slate grey that has a deeper bluish undertone, which will make you look even more competent or even more intimidating. Apart from that, I think if beige is too soft for you, you can always go for ivory, a little bit of off-white, definitely not optic white, because in this instance, I know that optic white, it does create the sense of openness. However, when you wear white, sometimes it has a similar effect to black, because white is a very pristine, perfectionistic color, and therefore for people who appear very analytical, logical, when you wear white, you emphasize the OCD side of you. What about khaki color, like a bit of that olive green kind of tone? I think that works as well. It's just that because olive green is like the army military color, it can also look a bit more edgy. So I tend to like to go for this beige, because beige is like the spa color, the color that you see at the beach. It's a very warm undertone, and so with this kind of neutral, it's gonna add that approachability, that warm back to someone that actually looks a little bit too serious. What about accent colors? You should stick to what is in the warm color palette. So things like your soft pink, peach color is actually great. Even certain kind of blue, there are certain kind of warmer blue where it has a yellow undertone, also will be quite suitable to create that approachable vibe. But I think all in all, if you are really like a thinking type, that intellectual side of you will want to further show the fact that you are actually competent. You want to show what's the inside on the outside. Sometimes it can go towards your advantage, but you'll be surprised that sometimes that's not how you build rapport with people. People want to see the human side of you, and therefore incorporating some of these warmer colors that may not be something that you like, it might help you in a lot of situations. So I'm going to show you some examples of the colors that I wear when I want to appear more sociable. I have this sky blue outfit. This is a dress shirt. Basically, this soft baby blue or sky blue, it's still masculine because it's like a menswear inspired color. You see a lot of men having this kind of like blue standard like shirt in their wardrobe. The material is a little bit silky, and then the silhouette itself is a bit more feminine too because it's flowy. Therefore, it gives me the softness that I need without taking away my intellectual vibe. I sometimes also like to go for navy blue, especially that kind of indigo dark denim color. It's very close to black, but it's not as saturated, not as dark as black, where it can come off very intimidating, and therefore sometimes I go for the navy or even the denim, because denim itself is considered a little bit more casual. Therefore, people would think that you are a bit more relaxed rather than uptight. In general, beige, khaki, it's been a color that is my go-to whenever I want to appear more sociable without compromising a lot of my own personal style, because I think if I suddenly wear like soft pink or wear like peach color, it's like I'm trying too hard, or go for floral prints that, of course, is the maximum of looking sociable. But then I know that I wouldn't be myself. So sometimes fashion, it's a way for you to express who you are authentically, but it's also a way for you to emulate your potential without taking yourself away too far from your original self. I hope you found this video useful. This is going to be part 1, specifically on the colors that will help you to appear more sociable. Stay tuned for part 2 as I talk about accessories.